Hi all. So we're back again with my Cruzbike S40, my third and fourth week. Just combining those together um, because it says you thank God they're going to be shorter. So for anyone that hasn't seen, I've done Cruzbike S40 my first week and Cruzbike S40 my second week. So yeah, everything going good. Everything going very good, to be honest. This is a fantastic bike. Fantastic piece of engineering. I never thought that I'd be able to cycle as good. I actually never did cycle as good on a diamond frame bike as I can with my S40, and it's just so comfortable. Um, you're not sore coming off it. Just sore from doing a workout, but that's natural after any sport. But you've nothing else that you might have from cycling on a diamond frame or otherwise or whatever. So look at with the way things are at the moment, still with this the COVID-19. So I'm doing my garden field route, and I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm kind of doing it 3 times a day now. To be honest, I'm doing might do it once in the morning, and then I'll do it twice in the evening. So yeah, on off out the Milltown Road up the hill, the hill I don't like. I'm managing it now. Still don't like it. I still don't like this hill. Above any hills, don't know. I don't know why, but I don't. But I get up. Um, I'm probably even on the large front chainring, and I'm still able to manage to get up that hill now. So that's going very well. Going up hills is going very well. So yeah, I go out in the morning, and then I do it again in the evening. Beginning to get the downhills as well. I'm getting more confident on the downhills, and it probably has taken me a little bit more while to do the downhills to get more confident, I suppose, and it's probably something I'm going to have to work more on. Downhills, if I want speed, obviously, if I don't, I just freewheel and off with me, and I take up the pedaling when I think it's I need to. So yeah, then as things are going in the next couple of days, I kind of start mixing it up a bit. So I'm not just going out of my house and going turning left and doing a left loop as such. I start mixing up the route, and I can do this, lucky enough, because I have an outer route, let's say, and I have a kind of an inner route as well that I can do, kind of split in 2 loops. So I can go out and do my garden field route, but I can come in through and pass my own house again and go back out again, or else I can go down onto the Ballygaddy Road, out onto the Milltown Road, and I can do that and come back in through Kilclawns again. So I've a loop there as well. And I also started reversing that route, in a sense of I'm going around right-handed now as opposed to left-handed. So this means coming to the traffic lights, I have to stop. So this gives me practice. Well, I have to stop if it's red, because I have to cross the traffic, and if there's traffic coming. So this is helping me in a sense of I'm learning to balance while going very slow, because if I'm approaching the red lights, or the lights are red, when I'm approaching, I slow down, and I'm really come down to a crawl. Now, lucky enough, I suppose I'm on a downhill when I come to those lights as well. So it's teaching me that. Teach me how to balance going very slow, and if they turn green and there's nothing coming this way, then off I go, and I can up my gears fairly quick, because again I'm on a little downhill there, and get around the corner. Other than that, if I have to come to a complete stop, well then it's also teaching me to make sure that I get my gears back down to the bottom chainring and to a very, very low gear, and it's teaching me to try and learn to take off from a standstill, even though I'm not getting that yet. So I'm still doing my Fred Flintstone. So I am. People in the cars looking at me, but anyhow, so what? Could be worse. So yeah, so I'm varying that route, and also when I do the right hand loop, so I do my right hand loop onto the Ballygaddy Road up over the overpass. So I'm taking the overpass the opposite direction, which is an easier for me as well, because before I come to the overpass, I'm on a downhill. I have a sharp right turn, but I'm still going down a hill, and then I have a huge uphill to the top, and but yeah, I suppose I'm getting the more confidence on speed on that particular section, and again coming off the overpass because as soon as I get to the top, there's a huge drop again, as you've seen from the videos previous going up. So and it's down around and then around the corner, around a little roundabout. So yeah, I'm probably getting more confidence there. It's a short burst of speed, and so yeah, I think yeah, I'm getting it. And then after that, when I come off that, I turn right again, and I'm heading up towards Gardenfield, or I'm actually heading up towards home as well. But there is a long climb there as well, and as I told you, I have signed up for my 80-kilometer cycle. Talk about that again. Anyhow, so yeah, I have to do my climbing, and I'm actually enjoying climbing. To be honest, again, as I said, it's probably a funny thing, like, you know, that people are enjoying climbing more so than going downhill, burning energy and killing yourself trying to get up where you can freewheel down. But that's life, isn't it? That's what we do. So yeah, so on that then as well, so that's a long climb, and yeah, I get my gears going up, and sometimes I actually get to one. I've noticed that I get to one section of that where I can actually start upping my gears again. I don't know whether this would be normal or unusual or whatever, but there is one section of it that I've picked up my momentum and my speed going up, and I can up my gears by 1 or 2 gears. And then I get to the end of the hill, it kind of goes up a little bit again. So I just down them again and get to the top and happy out. I've also started cycling into town, again to mix things up, and this also gives me confidence cycling in town situations, and it's probably going to get me used to cycling into town when things get back to normal, and when there's traffic and stuff like that, and you have a lot of stopping and starting, and well, I don't have a lot of stopping and starting to do at the moment because you're looking and there's not a lot of traffic around, but it's building my confidence up for that, to do that, and what I'm also doing now as well is so I should have said as well, I'm up to at 30 kilometers in a day now, that quite possibly could be, or a little bit more actually. Because the Gardenfield route is 9 points, so let's say call it 10 kilometers. So then if I do it twice, you're 20. So kind of lengthen that a little bit by actually coming into town and going back out onto where the cycle path starts again. So I can do a loop there. So so coming into town and I go across the road and back out another road, and this brings me onto my cycle path where I used to go around and that as well. Like all cycle paths, it starts at an area and stops, and you know there's I don't know why they don't just continue them. There's plenty of room around this loop that I do for them to have a full cycle path. Nearly 90% of it could be a full cycle path. But anyway, that's it. I'm beginning. People are beginning to look. I suppose they were always looking. To be honest, since I got my Cruzbike S40 and wondering what it was. But I suppose by coming into town now as well and on the side, there's more and more people out. But the weather is fantastic here, so it is for Ireland. It's absolutely fantastic, which is great, and nice to see it. But unfortunately, the social distancing and all that, like you can't stop to say hello to people and blah blah so on and so forth. So, but yeah, there's people looking and wondering, and I'm sure they would like to stop me and ask me about my cruise bike. But you sure look at they'll get time when all this is over. I'm sure they'll be asking. So that was Wednesday and Thursday. So as I said, then I'm moving on to the next couple of days, and as I said, there's a lot of people out walking now and stuff, and because you're in a town and stuff, and obviously the population is bigger in town than out the country. I feel myself that it's too tight. There's a lot of people, so I've decided to, and I'm going to cycle back out to Milltown, out that way. It's out the main road, good wide hard shoulder, and there's another loop I can do down the road. So anyhow, I'm going to do that. Friday, we're on Friday the 3rd, and so off out towards Milltown. You see from my previous videos, I'm fine with that now. I'm absolutely fine with it. Going up them hills. I'm actually going again. I'm going up them hills now again on my big chain ring and front. And no, I won't say it's not a bother. It's tough, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So to me that's a great achievement. So anyway, I head out towards Milltown, and I'm going turning left, and I'm going heading towards a village called Kilconnelly. Now I don't actually reach Kilconnelly itself, because when I come out, there's another road that I come back on. It's heading back towards Tuam. Now it's very, very windy today. So when I turn towards Kilconnelly, and the road is a bit rough as well there, to be honest, and I don't know, was I a little bit nervous, but I was going down a road that I hadn't travelled this road in, I'd say, about 20 years. I kind of knew the road, but wasn't fully sure where I was going, because I know there's a few turn-offs that can bring me off other directions and so on and so forth. Anyhow, look at yeah. So I'm heading down, and anyhow, I was going up a hill, small hill. The road was a bit rough, and the wind, it was windy, and I just lost it. And no, I didn't fall today. I didn't fall today, but I had to start from a standstill. So this was going to be interesting again, wasn't it? Am I going to manage it, like, you know? So I actually, one of the reasons I probably came to a standstill as well is because I wasn't in the right gear. So I got off my bike and I lifted the front wheel, and I put it down into this second lowest gear, I think. And I tried to push off, and it didn't go well, and so I back to my Fred Flintstone again, you know, and off I go. Again, wasn't very stylish because it was very, very windy. So it was. But off and down, up. That was actually up the hill around the corner. No, there was a few good hills on this as well today. And I'm learning well, I had been doing it anyway, but I'm pulling myself forward. I'm really pulling myself, and it really, really helps. No doubt about it, like, you know, it's you can put so much power into climbing when you pull yourself forward, pull yourself up off the seat. No, probably another thing that I find with myself now, and this is me, it's not a fault. So when I'm lying back, I kind of have my bum pushed well forward, and then when I pull myself up, when I pull myself up to go up a hill, I kind of push back. So I do, and I'm pulling forward like this, you know. So when I have achieved my hill, and I'm like an old dog now, so I am, when a dog is on the seat or on the chair or whatever, and he's trying to get himself comfortable, and he keeps going around in circles. And I'm like that, trying to maneuver myself back into my position, my lying position, and you know, if you've seen me, yeah, it's. But anyhow, look, that's what I do. Just trying to get myself comfortable again, and it does take me a minute or two to get myself back into my what I don't know, whatever I feel. There was another thought of today as well that I was going to do was because I knew it was a longer cycle, and I was going to get brave, and I'm going to take a drink out of my water bottle while I was still cycling. So I'd kind of, in my mind, I picked a spot, because I know this when I get back out on to another road heading back home to Tuam, near a called Castle Grove. I know that road very well because I used to travel that road a lot. Both my parents are from Kilconnelly, so I know it. Anyhow, I that. But anyhow, when I got to it, I pardon the pun, but I bottled it. I really did. I didn't have the nerve. I didn't actually have the nerve to reach for my water bottle and do it. So I was disappointed with myself with that. But I knew there was another section of the road where it was it was a downhill, or a flat, slightly downhill, straight part of the road, very straight part of the road. You could see 3-4 kilometers on up, you know, just so. Anyhow, I got to that, and all sorts of scenarios going through my head, and blah blah, so on and so forth, and how was I going to do it and stuff. So anyhow, I did. I got up my speed and stopped pedaling, and holding the handlebars with my left hand, and I reached for my bottle, which is just out in front of me, and then had my drink, and put it back in. I was beginning to slow down, so I was a little bit wobbly, but I got it back in time and started pedaling away. So yeah, another achievement for today. So that's Friday. So all in all, good. So I'm going I'm going to do that route again. Following day. So again, actually, so I'm on to Saturday, and it's actually windier. It is windier again today than it was yesterday, and I'm actually wondering will I chance it? Will I do it? Like, you know, and if I do, you know, I need to be careful. So I do. I really need to be careful. So I was a good while thinking, would I, wouldn't I? But anyway, I give in, and I said, look, I'm going to do it. And but I'm going to be safe and about it, you know. So everything going great. Out to Milltown, turn left. Up through whatever, up over onto Kilconnelly and in through Castlegrove, and coming into Kilbannon. So I just passed Kilbannon, and Kilbannon is high. This section Kilbannon is high and very open, and it was very windy, and the wind came, so I was leaning this way. And the wind let up, so I kind of fell this way, but I steadied it up again. But then the wind came again, and it blew me. And it blew me on between the the road itself and the grass verge. It was all gravel and whatever. So and it was into a channel. So I went down into that. And yes, I had my first fall. I'm delighted. I had my fall. Who would ever think you'd be delighted? I was waiting for this day. I actually was waiting for this day. And I had my fall. But lucky. I fell onto grass. There was big grass edge. And fell over, and of course, because I had dropped my legs actually, and so the bike is laying across my legs, and this leg is laying across the back wheel, and it took me a minute to get up. So I learned from that. I did really learn from that, and what I learned, and it's not what I learned. Well, I did, yeah. We know it. We know this. Or I found that. Yeah, you know we do, yeah. When we're getting in trouble, you sit up. Sit up on the bike. And I've done it. I've done that before. And I know it's easy to say things afterwards, in hindsight. But yeah, if you're getting in trouble, just pull yourself up, sit up, and you're fine. You know, you really will be fine if you sit up. And that's what I actually done after falling when I got up on the bike again, after checking the bike and stuff, and everything was fine on the bike. And because it was so windy that day, so I was cycling down the road, and I said the wind was still blowing, and I was nervous again at this stage, but I just sat up. And it's amazing the confidence that gives you when you sit up. And I did sitting up, and when I was I lay back again, and I sat up again, and when I hear cars coming, for the duration of getting back home again, as long as I felt if I was getting nervous, I just sat up. And it really does make a difference. So yeah, guys, sit up if you're in trouble. Sit up. So yeah, I say that's a total of 27 kilometers. So as regards distance, I'm getting there with my I'm up to 27 kilometers. Happy with that. I keep forgetting to put on my app, or I put them on some days, and sometimes I do a route and I forget, and then I have to hop in the car and clock it on the car and see what I've done. But I think one of them days I did. I'll go back and I'll check and I'll add it in on this. So Sunday I took a break. So Sunday was a short day as regards this video. Monday the 6th, I'm going back to my 2 kilometre radius because the government are beginning to talk about getting tougher with people and keeping them within a 2 kilometre radius. There's some people are just getting silly about things again, and we're coming up to Easter. And I don't understand coming up to Easter, but we're on lockdown anyway, so the same difference whether it's bank holiday weekend or not. Every day is a bank holiday day, isn't it, or whatever it was for most people, bar the frontline people that's out there keeping the country going and keeping us safe. Some people not listening, but anyhow, that's another story. So I'm doing back onto my 2 kilometre radius. So do my cycle path on Monday, and I do my Gardenfield route again. Tuesday, I've decided to do laps of my of the cycle path. So basically, I come out of my house up to the roundabout, go to the third exit, in towards town, over a little road, back out on Bishop Street, on Dunmore Road, cross on the cycle path, Bobby Burke Road, in the Milltown Road, in towards town again, and I do that. So I do that for eight times, and I think I'll go back on this again, but I think it's 4.3 kilometres in total, that circle, that complete circle. So I've done that 8 times. Good few people out that day looking at me, or not looking at me, but sorry, good few people out walking, and I had passed them obviously on a number of occasions, and it was nice because some people were encouraging me and kind of smiled the first time and bigger smile the second time I'd passed them, and kind of a laugh the third time, and they'd ask me the fourth time, how many are you on now? So got that from a few people. That was nice, I say, and it was encouraging. It kept me going, kept me focused. So I was doing that Tuesday. Wednesday, I'd done that, and I'd done it 10 times. So again, I forgot to put on my app that day, on my watch. Got to put it on, and anyhow, that's that. So we're on to Thursday, the 9th of the 4th, 2020, and this is an important day for me. And I haven't mentioned this up to now, but today my mother comes out of hospital after recovering from the COVID-19. She's been 3 weeks in hospital. She's 80 at the end of this month. And so yeah, there's good celebrations. My sister had rang me in the morning to say that they're discharging her, and that she'll ring me when she's leaving Galway Hospital. So she did, and we went down to the house, and look, at all the neighbours were around. They wanted to be there. The neighbours across the road, they have 3 young children, so they'd done up a lovely poster for my mother, welcome her home. We all done our social distancing, to be honest, and so today was a happy day. So I hadn't went out cycling, obviously, but I suppose I was so happy that after that I decided to do my garden field route again today, and this time I done the round. I done it 3 times. So that's 30 kilometers, just shy of 30 kilometers. It's 9 point whatever. So let's call it 10. So yeah, we'll call it 30 kilometers for the sake of it. What are we on to? We're on to Friday and Saturday. So Good Friday and Easter Saturday. I'm cycling around Gardenfield again, up through the town. So instead of when I come up over the overpass on the Ballygaddy Road, so instead of turning left at the lights, I go straight ahead through the lights into town. It just makes it that little bit longer for me, and it also makes it easier because I'm not doing my 90-degree turn at the lights and up a hill, so it's easier to go straight through. So that was that. We're going on to Sunday, Sunday the 12th, the 4th, 2020. So again, I've been looking at other routes that I can do, and still sticking within my 2 kilometre. I might be going slightly out of it, but nothing much. And so there's another route that I looked at. So I come out the house to the roundabout, third exit in towards town. Back out Bishop Street, out the Dunmore Road, but I continue on out the Dunmore Road, and I go out a couple of kilometres out the Dunmore Road, and I turn left down through Marley. Now Marley is it's very, very, very narrow. And I'm talking about one car. That's touching both sides, and there's lots of turns, but it's very flat. So doing that again. I come out of Marley, and when I come out of Marley, I can go straight across then onto my garden field route. Down my garden field, down towards the Ballygaddy Road and up over the overpass onto the lights. So I've done that route twice. I didn't check the distance, to be honest. But it's grand cycle. Nothing major on it, So we're on to Monday, the 13th of the 4th, 2020, and so I'm doing much the same route, but I'm actually going out further now. I'm going out further the Dunmore Road, and I'm going out to an area called Lissa Valley Jackson. Now there's a few, again this is very, very narrow road, very varied, with very 90-degree corners, and there's a good few uphills. So again, I'm learning to sit up, and really I can't emphasize this enough. I don't think, to be honest. This sitting up when we need to, it really does help. So I'm getting a very, very good varied cycle on, with the various different routes that I'm doing. Ever improving my technique, with everything. The whole cycling, picking gears, up the hills, down the hills, getting more confidence down the hills. Even though I will say that I'm still more confident going up hills than going down hills. So I do that, and again, I forget to put on my app, don't I? So I decide on Tuesday the 14th, which is the last day of my 4th week. I I'm going down this route again, and I'm going to put on my app. And I'm going doing it twice. So I get my bike, I check my Di2, the battery is good on that, I have my water, which I'm sorry, and I should have said earlier on that it's ever since I've taken my waters, I'm practicing that now more often as well. Go back to the other day when I was doing my 8 loops of the cycle path. There was one particular area where I was coming to, just before coming to the traffic lights. I picked that area for every time I came to that I take my water bottle out and do that. So yeah, that's, but anyway, I get my water bottle, check my Di2, check everything, and I hit the app on my watch. So I do it. Yeah, but you know, there's something coming, isn't there? I do it no problem. 38 kilometers, and I don't know it's 38 kilometers from my app, because when I checked on my Apple Watch, it was on aeroplane mode, wasn't it? I've started to put my phone onto airplane mode when I'm charging, because the charger's quicker, as we all know. And this puts my my watch onto airplane mode. But when I turn off airplane mode on my phone, for whatever reason, my watch doesn't. So it was still on airplane mode, so I didn't get my distance. So when I was ripping, really was ripping myself, sitting in the house, and I said, to hell with this, and I into the car, and I drove around. So it's 38 kilometers in total for the 2 laps. So I was hoping to hit 40, to be honest. 40 was my goal with it, but I thought that, but look, at 38 is quite fine. I'm happy with 38 kilometers. I get it up to 40. It'll be half my 80. I'll be up to 80. Well, look, I won't say I will. I'll be up to 60 in a month, in another month, or just over a month. All going well now, all going well. So that's that. I'm going to say one more thing. I came across a video. The Laidback bicycle report, Laidback bike report is called, isn't it? And it's gone back to 2012, 2013. And it was an interview with Maria Parker and Jim Parker. And when Maria done the race across America, fantastic. Watch it. Everyone should watch that. That's so inspiring. Well done to Maria and the whole crew, everyone that was involved in that. But there's something else that I'm going to say on that. She was doing it for a reason, and they done a documentary film on it as well. Should watch it. Hope. And there's a website, 3,000 miles for a cure. Go on to it, sign up to it. I have. And I'm going to make a donation. And I would encourage anyone that watches this to please make a donation to that. Maria hasn't asked me to say this or anything like that. This, you know, but when you see it, it'll. I automatically just signed up for it. and I will be making a donation to it. So I'd ask everyone, just go on to it, watch the interview, watch the documentary, and you'll just automatically make a donation. I think you will anyway. So I most certainly will. So that's it, folks. Again, thank you. And do you know, I actually would. I'd appreciate any experienced cruise bike riders out there to make some comments on anything I've said, because I don't know if I'm not saying I'm right on what I'm saying or anything like that, but you know, point me in the right direction. Because I have this 80 kilometre coming up in August the 29th, and I'm sure, knowing me, I'll probably find something if everything is back to normal. That I'll find one before that. And I would really appreciate the help from everyone. So anyhow, folks, yeah, look, that's it. Again, go back, watch that documentary, and make a donation. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Bye.